Bride of the Re-Animator is a necromancy horror movie. War. What is it good for? Am I right? So we find ourselves in a war. Our two doctors are basically medical aid and they're helping soldiers. Well, they're helping themselves as if one of them dies. You know, a soldier dies, reanimate them with the same old classic lime green fluid. Yeah, don't really understand why they ended the first one how they did and then started the second one how they did. 8 months later, them in a war. So weird. But nonetheless, we are now out of the war and we're more about the consequences of the first one when our lover boy doctor, his fiance ends up dying and he tries to bring him back. Well, it turns out that did not work. She did not come back, unfortunately. So our classic mad scientist, Dr. West Jeffrey Combs, and yeah, basically he is still influencing his help Kane into basically helping them just find dead bodies. Well, Kane being definitely sad by the death of his fiance, Dr. West ends up convincing him that he can put a body together of random people's parts and use his fiance's heart to basically be the soul of this body and they can reanimate, kind of on some classic Frankenstein shenanigans. And that's what the movie is. It's them just collecting body parts. And yes, it's just the classic things don't go the way they want because you're reanimating dead stuff. And yeah, they have to deal with the headless dude again because I guess he's the bad guys of this movie. But yeah, nonetheless, pretty good movie. So my review to Bride of the Re-Animator. Yeah, so unfortunately, this isn't nothing to do with the movie, with like how good it was or anything, but the quality of the Bride of the Re-Animator on this DVD was just absolutely horrible. I don't know if that's just how the movie is, but I guarantee if this movie was just in the format, HD format, as the first one I watched, like on Blu-ray, this would have been an insanely just visual movie, as there were just some really good lit spots in this movie. And I just think the green fluid is just a really good visual. So yeah, I mean, the visuals are all there in this movie. The acting from some people kind of sucked. Like, I feel like halfway through the movie, everything definitely got better with the acting from some people. But yeah, nonetheless, Jeffrey Combs is easily carrying this whole ass movie on his back with his acting. The practical effects are pretty good. Now, some of them are like claymations because they're like doing a bunch of fusing shenanigans with body parts, which is pretty cool. The story was really good, but some of the claymations looked kind of bad, but I respect anybody who uses practical effects. So even if it looks a little bad, you still tried. I mean, it's a 90s movie, so. But nonetheless, very, very good. And then at the end with basically the Frankenstein girl and how she looked was really good. There was some good practical effects. Same shit with the camera work. They do really good at making headless objects look real. Yeah, just honestly, the story was a little bit like more twisted because like he was like real mad scientist by like connecting different body parts. Like he'd put an arm in a cat or like end up connecting toes to an eyeball or fingers to an eyeball and like just all this really disturbing stuff. And then the end when all of them are attacking him, all of his misfits, you really just see that yeah, he was just doing crazy combinations. But yeah, the Frankenstein lady looked pretty insane, and just the way he was describing her and like all the different parts and where he got them, and that just Jeffrey Combs definitely just carried this shit with his acting. It was a really good movie. All in all, I really wish I just watched this in better quality, but it's definitely a movie I'm going to be on the lookout in like Blu-ray or just maybe a better disc version if there is one. Who knows? DVD. So yeah, my recommendation for Bride of the Re-Animator. And honestly, there's a bunch of stuff in this movie to make me want to say highly recommended. It's between highly recommended and recommended, and I'm really enjoying these series right now. So I'm just going to probably go and say that Bride of the Re-Animator is highly recommended, and I'm going to say Re-Animator is highly recommended. So, I mean, these are just really good movies. I definitely think the first one's better than the second one, but that second one is just, there was actually a part in it. I didn't mention this before. And yeah, so there's a part when the corpse is laying on the bed and he's putting all the pieces together, and he grabs one of the hand and he's explaining it, and he grabs the tendons in the hand and it moves the hand. I don't know. It's been a long time since something made me squirm. I'm like, oh man, just that visual was crazy. Oh, little side note, if you made it this far, that was a little side note. So, highly recommended.